Chase Lehocky with the blue futon out of the digital world. Actually, YouTube/Daily Wire, we have a movie called Shut In. Should you be shut in into this closet, or should you try to break out as fast as you can? Let's find out. So Shut In, what's it about? It's a very simple premise, actually. There's a lady with 2 kids who is trying to get out of this house that she's inherited from her nana or her grandmother. It's too expensive. She needs to move to Texas or a different state because money's not going anywhere. She can't afford to upkeep this house. But she gets locked into her pantry, and while doing that, her ex-husband and a meth head are out in the open. And one of them's a child molester, and one of them is high on meth. Can she save her children? Let's find out. So, with this movie, I was actually shocked on how well crafted this was. It's a very well produced movie, well budget, and it's actually directed by DJ Caruso. And I was actually shocked when I saw who actually directed it. I was like, DJ Caruso directed it? He did just direct Redeeming Love, which didn't get a lot of critic praise, but he did like Disturbia, Eagle Eye. So he's Triple X. So he's done some stuff in Hollywood, and he's doing this Daily Wire movie. So it's like, okay, he must have liked this project and he's willing to do it. So kudos for him to make this movie. It is a very centralized premise of being in this pantry with this lady and stuff happening behind the door, above her, trying to figure out Mason, her young, like 1-year-old, and then her younger one who's like 4 or 5, trying to tell him what to do, feed him, eating this pantry and doing stuff like that, and having this meth head come in and being a child molester, and what is she going to do to save her children or keep them away from these madmen. So overall, it is a well-crafted movie. It's only an hour and a half. It knows it's not going to overstay its welcome, and it does its purpose. Have you seen it before? Absolutely. You've seen these kind of home invasion ones, but this home invasion is not like you don't know who the bad guys are. So I have to say that's actually a positive, because a lot of these home invasions, they have masks, and you're like, oh, stay away from me. I don't know who you're dealing with, or I don't even know who you are. But with this one, you know for a fact it's an ex-husband who is a drug addict, and you know it's his dealer, if you want to put it that way, that owes the ex-husband's money, and a child molester. So you know for a fact what she's dealing with already, because with a lot of these, like I said, home invasion ones, you don't know the purpose of the home invasion. Is it just for a robbery? Is it for torture? Is it more just for a game for them? Are they going to be there to kill him? But here you know for a fact what she is dealing with. So I think putting that up front actually puts more gravitas or more reality into the picture of what she has to do to survive. Now, I saw some criticisms of with a screwdriver with some reviewers of why is she not going for the door. Well, they kind of say there's a 2x4 on the door, so you have to go underneath the baseboards, because these are some of the people, I'm guessing they live in apartments, they don't know how houses really work, is there's space underneath the house, kind of like a basement or where they put the pipes. She goes down, she can come up at any time and do stuff like that. But then she finds a different way of doing it. So that's a nitpick I saw from other people that I was like, let's see if that's a really real nitpick. But then I saw it, I'm like, no, that is not a real nitpick at all. But it's acted well. I think it's like I said, it's acted well, it's directed well, it's produced well. The sets are very dark, so that's also a little bit of a bummer where you're like, oh, what's kind of happening here and there. There is a good message of the apple butter at the very end where you're like, okay, not everything is rotten to the core. People might have a rotten spot in them, but don't forget, some of them rotten people, if you want to put it that way, or rotten fruit is the best for something else. And just like her, she was a meth addict, and so she has some rotten stuff in her, but she's trying to do the best that she can to raise her 2 children. Overall, I think it's a fun time. It's an hour and a half. You've seen it before. You've seen this premise before. So if you like these invasion movies, you'll be fine. So Shut In will receive a 4 out of 5 blue futons. It goes at 80%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So if critics a 100%, there is only 5 of them. Audience score 98% with over 1,000. No critic consensus. I'm just going to see what the audience or the critics are. We have a 2.5 out of 4, a 2.5 out of 4, an 8 out of 10, a 3 out of 4, and a 3.5 out of 5. So none of them are like perfect, but kind of them are in the same rank as me. It's like, it's a very well-made movie. DJ Caruso, I'm going to say his last name right. Hopefully I am. Made a great movie. It's produced well. It did its job. That's what it's saying. It's a movie that did its job, and you know what you're getting yourself into. Unlike like Moonfall, where it just goes on to the bombastic territory. This one's grounded. and you're like, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. With a lot of other home invasion movies, you're like, can that really happen? But this one is like, yeah, it kind of can happen. So, do you get the 100, 98, or 80? Chase Leaki with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this movie, Utopia. You Tony, thank you for watching. Have a great day. And I know Daily Wire has Run, Fight, Hide. I need to watch that one. And they have the new Gina Carano movie coming out, Something on the Prairie, which looks pretty great as well. But like I said, if you want to watch those movies, you got to get a Daily Wire account. So it's up to you if you really want to support what they're doing.